Around the holidays, I am always looking for a way to use leftover turkey or leftover ham, and this is just a really good, comforting chowder using ham. And I like to curl up in my recliner with some covers on, watch some YouTube, and have a nice warm bowl of chowder. And it's really good too because I use seasonal greens in here. You know, once it's been cold a couple of times, freezing temperatures, those greens, they just taste so good. So you can use a kale or collards in here too. I'm using turnip greens. And then I'll need a scallion, and this is a really big scallion. So if you end up buying your scallions, you may need 2 or 3. I'm also using some dill because I have so much of it. Chives or parsley would be good too. And I'll grab a few celery leaves. Certainly if you already have some celery, throw a stalk of that in here. And I'll need a bay leaf. My bay leaf plant needed to be pruned a little bit, so I went ahead and cut off a couple of branches. I also want to let these leaves dry indoors so I can use them throughout the winter in soups. So I only need 1 leaf for this chowder. So here are the ingredients. You are welcome to jot them down. You can print them out below the video, and of course you can always just do a screenshot with your device. So the meats that I'm going to use include, of course, a few slices of leftover ham and about 4 slices of bacon. So I pulled the leaves off of the rib of the turnip greens and gave them a good rough chop. And so we want to start by frying off the bacon, and you want to fry this until it's nice and crispy. We're going to use a little bit of the grease to cook our onions. So once that bacon is nice and crispy, go ahead and remove it from your pan and set them aside and let them drain. You only need about 1 tablespoon of the bacon grease, so just discard the rest. And now we can put our onions right here. I'm on about medium heat. Put a lid on it, and as those onions start to release their liquid, it's going to lift up all of that yummy goodness that the bacon left behind on the bottom of the pan. So make sure you put your lid on there so all the moisture doesn't evaporate. So once the onions have softened, go ahead and move them out to the side and put your butter right there in the middle of the pan. And now in go the fennel seeds and the chili pepper flakes. Now the fennel seed has kind of a strong flavor. I absolutely love them in soups, but you know, some people don't like the taste of, I guess, like a licorice or anise flavor. So certainly that is optional. And we'll let those cook in the butter for about a minute or 2. And now once the butter starts to get nice and foamy, you can go ahead and add the flour, and we'll just whisk it in. And you can just whisk that into all of the onion. That's fine, don't worry, doesn't make a big deal. And now I am going to use ham stock, but you can use chicken stock. I'll leave a link for you to how to make ham stock, because if you have a ham bone around the holidays too, this is a great way to make ham stock. You can freeze it so you can use it for soups throughout the winter as well. And now we'll just add a little bit of the ham stock. I'm adding about 1 cup. And scraping the bottom just to make sure I get up all of the goodness. And then in go the scallions and black pepper, a little bit more of the stock because it's thickening up pretty good here, and the minced garlic. I'm also adding some celery leaves. If you're using a stalk of celery, however, add that when you add the onions, okay? And now in goes a little bit more stock. It's thickening up nicely. And in goes the bay leaf. Make sure to submerge it into the liquid. A little more stock. I'm on about medium heat, maybe medium low really. And now for my greens. And I want to cook these down till they're really tender. Now if you want them to be not so tender, you'll add those with the potatoes at the end, okay? So I put in my last bit of stock, and I guess I ended up using about 3 cups. Now I can add my bacon, and I want to let these greens cook down real tender for about 5 minutes. And so I put a cover on it, and now it's looking really good. So I'll remove the bay leaf. And I need a little bit more liquid, so it's okay to go ahead and put water in at this point. And then add the ham. I still need a little bit more liquid, so I put water in. And now in go the potatoes. Using red potatoes really makes this chowder delicious. Not gold and definitely not russet potatoes. They will just fall apart and not hold up. So after about 10 minutes or so, they're just tender. Now I like to put this up in mason jars and put it in my refrigerator because this is my comfort food. My family's not crazy about chowder or stews and soups, that kind of thing. So this is a mama's meal right here. And then I'll add my milk and my cream when I go to reheat it. So this is about 2 cups of the potato mixture with the ham and everything. I'm just going to show you how I reheat it. So I put milk in there, a little splash of cream until it's just barely covered, and a little salt until it's nice and steaming. And then I like to make sure that I warm up my soup mug. So I'll just put it right there, kind of resting on the handle and on the rim of the pan. So when it's heating up, you know, that steam kind of goes up into the cup, and I'll rotate it so it's nice and warm. And it's really good with a nice crunchy piece of garlic toast or crackers. And then I'll put a little dill in there and stir that in. Or whatever, like I said earlier, you could use chives or maybe some parsley, and then on top some finely grated Parmesan cheese just to take it over the top and make it extra creamy. You notice I didn't use much salt in here because I have the ham and the bacon. Then I'm also using this Parmesan cheese here at the end. So there you go. I hope you can make this and curl up this winter with a nice warm bowl of chowder, and it's just delicious when it's cold outside. So if you'd like some more ideas for other recipes, please feel free to head on over to my channel where I have something for everyone over there. And also, as a reminder, please make sure you click that bell off to the right of the subscribed button, and you will receive all notifications from my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.